Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to speak to the deepest part of your heart, the part that craves purpose, significance, and assurance. Let me tell you something powerful, something unshakable. Nothing can stop God's plans for you. Life will throw storms your way. You'll face rejections, failures, and moments where you wonder if you're on the right path. But remember, obstacles aren't the end, they're a test. Challenges are not there to defeat you, they are there to refine you. Every setback, every failure, every heartache, it's all part of the preparation. God doesn't abandon his creation. You are chosen. You are equipped. Before you took your first breath, he already mapped out your victory. Think about that. The creator of the universe handcrafted a destiny so unique, so powerful, that not even the toughest trials can derail it. But here's the key. You've got to trust the process. Faith is your fuel. It's the antidote to fear. When doubt whispers, this is the end, faith roars back. This is only the beginning. The truth is, God's timing is perfect, even when it feels late. Delay is not denial. You might think you're off course, but let me assure you there are no detours in God's plan. Now let me challenge you, align yourself with this divine purpose. Stop playing small. Stop settling for less. When you walk in obedience to God's direction, you're not just fulfilling your destiny, you're impacting others. Your life becomes a beacon, a source of inspiration and transformation. Remember, the promise is clear victory is guaranteed, not because of your strength, but because of his. If you're willing to step out in faith, there is no mountain too high, no valley too deep, no storm too fierce that can stop what God has prepared for you. So today, declare it, I will not be stopped. Say it again with conviction, I will not be stopped, because God is for me. Let this truth ignite your spirit. You are unstoppable because the one who holds the stars holds your destiny. Step boldly into your purpose and watch as his plan unfolds with breathtaking beauty. God's purpose for your life is not accidental, it's intentional and powerful beyond measure. Think about this before you even existed. The creator of the universe envisioned your unique path. He crafted every detail of your being, every talent, every strength, and even your challenges with a specific purpose in mind. You are not a product of chance, you are a masterpiece designed with divine intention. Understanding this truth can completely transform the way you see yourself and your circumstances. When you grasp that your life has been divinely orchestrated, it shifts your perspective. The setbacks, the struggles, the detours, they're not meaningless. They're a part of the preparation. They're tools God uses to shape you, to strengthen you, and to prepare you for the purpose he set before you. This purpose is more than just about your personal success. It's about making an impact. You were created to bring something to the world that no one else can. Your unique combination of experiences, gifts, and passions is designed to fulfill a role in the grand tapestry of life that only you can fill. And here's the best part, nothing can thwart it. No mistake, no failure, no opposition, nothing is powerful enough to stop what God has set in motion. When you align yourself with this purpose, you begin to experience a sense of fulfillment that nothing else can provide. It's like stepping into a flow where everything starts to make sense, even the hardships. You realize that the challenges aren't there to break you, they're there to build you into the person you need to become to carry out the incredible plan God has for your life. So today, embrace this truth. You are here for a reason, a divine reason. The purpose within you is powerful because it comes from the one who is all powerful. Trust in that. Let it fuel your decisions, your dreams, and your determination. When you walk in alignment with God's purpose, you are unstoppable. Obstacles are an inevitable part of life, but they are far more than inconveniences or setbacks. They are opportunities in disguise, opportunities to grow, to learn, and to align more deeply with God's plan for your life. Too often we view challenges as roadblocks meant to halt our progress, but in truth they are tools in the hands of the Creator, shaping us for a greater purpose. When you encounter a challenge, it's easy to feel frustrated or even defeated. You might ask, why me? Why now? But what if instead you ask, what is this teaching me? How is this preparing me for what's next? Every obstacle you face is a chance to strengthen your faith, build resilience, and refine your character. It's through adversity that we develop the perseverance needed to carry the weight of our calling. Think about it, some of the greatest breakthroughs in history came from people who faced incredible odds. Those moments of difficulty forced them to dig deeper, to innovate, to trust in something greater than themselves. Similarly, the obstacles in your life are not there to stop you, they are there to elevate you. They push you to think differently, to act boldly, and to rely fully on God's guidance. God uses challenges to redirect us when we're veering off course. Sometimes an obstacle is his way of saying, not this way, there's something better. Other times, it's his way of preparing you for the next level. You see, the process of overcoming isn't just about the destination, it's about who you become along the way. You develop strength, patience, and wisdom qualities you couldn't gain without walking through the fire. Even in the midst of obstacles, there's a promise God will never leave you or forsake you. He is with you in the struggle, using it to accomplish His plan. What feels like a setback is often a setup for something greater. When you face resistance, it means you're moving forward. Resistance only comes when you're making progress. So instead of shrinking back from challenges, embrace them. View them as opportunities to grow closer to God, to discover your inner strength, and to step into a greater version of yourself. Remember, diamonds are formed under pressure, and gold is refined in fire. Likewise, your obstacles are refining you for greatness. Each obstacle is a part of your testimony. One day you'll look back and see how the very things that seem like barriers were actually blessings. They'll serve as proof of God's faithfulness and power, inspiring others to persevere in their own journeys. So the next time you face a challenge, don't just endure it, embrace it. Let it fuel your determination and deepen your trust in God's purpose. Know that every obstacle you overcome is bringing you one step closer to the fulfillment of His unstoppable plan for your life. Faith and fear cannot coexist. They are two opposing forces pulling us in different directions. Fear grips us with doubt, uncertainty, and hesitation, whispering that we are not enough, that the challenge is too big, or that the path ahead is too uncertain. Faith, on the other hand, is the voice of assurance, reminding us of who we are, who God is, and the promises that He has made. Faith silences fear by declaring that no matter the situation, God's plan will prevail. Fear thrives in the unknown, feeding on what we cannot control or predict. It tells us to stay small, to avoid risks, and to cling to comfort. But comfort zones are not where growth happens, nor where destiny is fulfilled. Faith challenges us to step out, even when we can't see the whole picture. It's a trust that goes beyond human understanding, a conviction that God is not only with us, but ahead of us, clearing the path. When we allow fear to take hold, it paralyzes us. It keeps us from pursuing opportunities, embracing change, or taking the steps necessary to live out our purpose. Fear magnifies the obstacles and minimizes the resources we have. But faith does the opposite. It magnifies God's power and minimizes the perceived impossibilities. Faith reminds us that we're not alone, that we have access to divine strength and wisdom that far exceed our own limitations. Faith isn't about ignoring reality, it's about seeing a greater reality. It's about believing that God's promises are more reliable than our circumstances. Think of the countless times in history when faith has led people to accomplish what seemed impossible. Whether it was stepping out into the unknown, standing firm in the face of opposition, or persevering through unimaginable hardships, faith was the driving force that allowed them to move forward when fear tried to hold them back. The beauty of faith is that it grows with action. The more you trust God and step out in faith, the stronger it becomes. It's like a muscle that develops through use. Every time you choose faith over fear, you build spiritual resilience. You begin to see that what once terrified you is now just another stepping stone on the journey. Fear loses its power when confronted with consistent, unwavering faith. Faith is also deeply tied to our relationship with God. It requires us to lean into His promises, to know His word, and to trust His character. It's not just believing that God exists, it's believing in Him, in His goodness, His timing, and His purpose for our lives. Fear will always try to undermine that trust, but faith reminds us of the truth that God's plans are good, that He works all things for our benefit, and that He will never leave us. In moments of fear, we have a choice. We can focus on the waves of uncertainty or fix our eyes on the one who calms the storm. Faith isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to move forward despite it. It's the bold declaration that, yes, this is scary, but my God is bigger, my God is stronger, my God is faithful. Choosing faith over fear doesn't mean the journey will be easy, but it does mean it will be worth it. With faith, you unlock possibilities that fear would have kept hidden. You step into opportunities that would have been missed. You grow into the person God created you to be, living with courage, purpose, and trust. So the next time fear tries to creep in, remind yourself that this fear is temporary, but faith is eternal. Choose to trust the one who holds your destiny and watch as fear fades in the light of God's unstoppable plans for your life. The idea that you are chosen is one of the most profound truths you can embrace in your life. To be chosen means you are not an accident, nor are you simply one of many without significance or purpose. It means that before the foundations of the world, God knew you, formed you, and set you apart for a specific plan and destiny. This truth isn't just a fleeting thought, it's the core of who you are. You are chosen by a loving creator called by name and uniquely equipped for a purpose that only you can fulfill. To be chosen means you have value, intrinsic and unshakable. The world may measure worth by achievements, status, or possessions, but God's choice of you is rooted in love and grace. He didn't choose you because of your accomplishments or potential. He chose you because of your accomplishments or potential. He chose you because of immense love for you. This kind of divine selection means you don't have to strive for approval or validation. You already have it. It's not earned, and it can never be taken away. When you realize you are chosen, it changes the way you see yourself. No longer are you defined by your past mistakes, failures, or what others think of you. Your identity is found in the one who chose you. This knowledge instills confidence, not arrogance, but a quiet assurance that you are here for a reason. Every breath you take, every talent you possess, every opportunity you encounter is part of a greater plan designed specifically for you. Being chosen also comes with responsibility. It means you have a role to play in the grand story of life, a role that no one else can fill. Think of how many lives have been touched by people who stepped into their calling knowing they were chosen. You have the potential to influence, inspire, and impact others in ways you may not even realize. Your unique gifts and experiences are tools that God has given you to fulfill this purpose. And here's the remarkable part. Even when you feel unqualified or unsure, God doesn't call the equipped, He equips the called. Life will often try to make you doubt this truth. There will be moments of uncertainty, times when you feel overlooked or insignificant. But being chosen doesn't mean the path will always be smooth. It means that no matter the obstacles, you are set apart for something extraordinary. Even when you face challenges, they are part of the refining process, shaping you into the person you need to become to fulfill your purpose. God's choice of you is never revoked, even in your weakest moments. To be chosen also means you are never alone. The one who chose you walks with you, guides you, and provides for you. He sees every detail of your life and orchestrates it all for your good. Even in the silence, when you can't see the way forward, He is working behind the scenes. His plans for you are not dependent on your perfection, but on His faithfulness. Your mistakes, delays, or detours cannot cancel His choice of you. This truth should spark a sense of excitement and expectation. If you are chosen, then every day carries significance. Every interaction, every opportunity, every challenge is part of a greater purpose. You were placed in this specific moment in time for a reason. The world needs what you have to offer. And no one else can fulfill the role you were created for. So let this truth sink deep into your heart. You were chosen not by chance, not by accident, but by the divine creator of all things. Live with the confidence and courage that comes from knowing this. Step boldly into your purpose and trust that the one who chose you has also equipped you to thrive. When it comes to your destiny, there are no detours in God's plan. The path may not always look straight or make sense to you in the moment, but God's hand is always guiding it. What feels like a wrong turn, a delay, or even a failure is not the end of your journey. It is, in fact, part of the process of fulfilling the purpose for which you were created. Nothing catches God by surprise. He is the ultimate navigator, and His plan accounts for every twist and turn. In life, we often expect progress to be linear, a clear path from where we are to where we want to be. But God's ways are higher than ours. His timing, His strategy, and His perspective are beyond what we can comprehend. While we may see detours as setbacks, He sees them as preparation. Every experience, whether it feels like progress or a pause, is equipping you for the destination He has already ordained. Think about the lives of those who accomplish great things. Their stories are rarely ones of smooth sailing. Consider Joseph in the Bible, a young man with dreams of greatness, yet his path to that destiny took him through betrayal, slavery, and imprisonment. To the outside observer, it looked like his life was full of detours and delays. But every step, even the painful ones, was necessary. Each trial shaped his character, refined his gifts, and positioned him for the exact moment when he would rise to fulfill his purpose. This is the truth about destiny. Even when it seems like you're off track, God is still directing your steps. Your mistakes, though they may feel like missteps, are not wasted. God has a way of turning even our errors into opportunities for growth. He takes the broken pieces of our lives and weaves them into a tapestry of purpose. What the enemy meant for harm, God uses for good. The idea that there are no detours in destiny should give you peace. It means you don't have to live in fear of missing out on God's plan. Yes, you should strive to make wise choices and seek His guidance, but even when you falter, He is faithful to redirect you. His grace ensures that your destiny is not dependent on your perfection, but on His sovereignty. The steps of a righteous person are ordered by the Lord, and He delights in every detail of your life. Sometimes what feels like a detour is actually a divine setup. The delay you're experiencing might be God's way of protecting you from something you're not ready for or something that isn't right for you. It could be that he's using this time to prepare your heart, develop your character, or align circumstances in ways you can't see. Trusting that there are no detours in destiny means letting go of the need to control every aspect of your journey and surrendering to the one who sees the end from the beginning. This perspective changes everything. When you know that nothing is wasted, you can face challenges with hope and resilience. That season of waiting isn't in vain, it's a time of preparation. That unexpected change in plans isn't a setback, it's a redirection towards something better. God is always working, even in the moments when it feels like nothing is happening. His timing is perfect, and his plans are good. Living with this understanding allows you to embrace the journey, not just the destination. It gives you the freedom to learn, grow, and trust in the process, knowing that every step is bringing you closer to the fulfillment of God's purpose for your life. Your destiny is secure, not because of your ability to stay on track, but because of God's unfailing faithfulness. So take heart. Even when the road feels long, when the path is unclear, when you face unexpected challenges, remember this: there are no detours in destiny. Every step, every moment, and every experience is being used by God to bring you to the place he has prepared for you. Stay the course, trust the process, and know that he who began a good work in you will bring it to completion. Victory is not just a possibility when you walk in alignment with God's plans, it's a certainty. This assurance isn't rooted in your own strength, skills, or circumstances. It's founded on the unshakable promises of God. When he sets a plan into motion, nothing can stop it. His word declares that he has already overcome the world, and because of that, your victory is not up for negotiation. It is guaranteed. The world often defines victory as success, status, or the absence of struggle, but God's perspective is much deeper. His victory for you encompasses more than external achievements. It's about fulfilling your purpose, growing in your faith, and overcoming the challenges that try to hold you back. The beauty of this victory is that it doesn't depend on perfection or flawless execution on your part. Even when you stumble, even when you feel weak or inadequate, God's power is made perfect in your weakness. This guarantee of victory doesn't mean the road will always be easy. In fact, the journey to fulfilling God's plans often comes with trials and opposition. But these challenges are not evidence of defeat, they are part of the process. Victory is forged in the fire of perseverance. The battles you face are opportunities to see God's strength at work in your life. They refine your character, deepen your faith, and prepare you for greater things. When you understand that victory is guaranteed, it changes how you approach obstacles. Instead of fearing failure, you can face challenges with confidence, knowing that the outcome has already been determined. It's like running a race where the finish line is assured. You still have to put in the effort, but the pressure of uncertainty is replaced by the peace of knowing that the result is secure. The guarantee of victory also means that every setback is temporary. What may look like a loss in the moment is just a step in a larger story of triumph. Consider the example of David facing Goliath. To the outside world, it seemed impossible for a shepherd boy to defeat a giant. But David's victory wasn't based on his size, skill, or the weapons he carried. It was rooted in his faith in God's promise. That same assurance applies to you. No matter how insurmountable the odds may seem, God's power is greater. Victory is also about alignment. When you align your will with God's will, you step into the flow of his unstoppable plans. It's not about striving in your own strength, but about trusting and obeying his direction. This partnership with God ensures that every effort you make is multiplied by his power. You're not fighting your battles alone. The creator of the universe is fighting on your behalf. This victory isn't just for you, it's meant to impact others. Your life becomes a testimony of what is possible when you walk in faith. The challenges you overcome, the dreams you achieve, and the growth you experience inspire those around you. Your victory ripples outward, bringing hope and encouragement to others who are watching your journey. The greatest assurance of victory is found in the cross. Through Jesus, the ultimate victory over sin, death, and darkness has already been won. This eternal triumph guarantees that no matter what or what happens in this life, the end result is sure. You are on the winning side, and nothing can separate you from the love and purpose of God. So live with confidence, stand firm in the face of adversity, know that the battles you fight are not fought in vain, and the victories you experience are not fleeting. Your story is one of triumph, written by the author of life himself. When you walk in step with him, you can face the future with boldness, knowing that your victory is not just possible, it's guaranteed. Alignment with divine will is the cornerstone of living a purposeful and fulfilled life. It is the act of surrendering your plans, desires, and ambitions to God's greater purpose for you. This isn't about losing your identity or sacrificing your dreams. It's about connecting with the Creator's perfect plan, which is infinitely better than anything you could imagine for yourself. When you align your will with God's, you step into a flow of grace, power, and clarity that transforms your life from ordinary to extraordinary. Alignment begins with trust. It requires a deep belief that God's will is always for your good, even when it doesn't make sense in the moment. Trusting God means letting go of the need to control every outcome and believing that His plans for you are better than anything you could orchestrate on your own. This trust is not passive, it's active and intentional. It's choosing moment by moment to say, not my will, but yours be done. Surrendering your will to God doesn't mean giving up on your dreams, it means allowing Him to shape those dreams. Often we hold on to our own plans so tightly that we leave no room for God to work. But when you surrender, you open yourself to possibilities you never considered. God's vision for your life is broader and deeper than anything you can see right now. He knows the desires of your heart because He placed them there, and He knows the best way to fulfill them. When you align with God's will, you also gain clarity. Life is full of distractions and competing priorities, but divine alignment cuts through the noise. It gives you a sense of purpose and direction that guides your decisions and actions. You no longer have to wonder if you're on the right path because you're walking in step with the one who knows the way. This alignment doesn't mean you'll never face uncertainty, but it does mean you'll have peace even in the unknown known because you trust the one leading you. Alignment with divine will also brings power. When you are in sync with God's plans, you are no longer operating in your own limited strength. You tap into a source of power that enables you to accomplish things you never thought possible. This is where miracles happen, where doors open that you couldn't force open, and where obstacles are removed in ways you can't explain. God's will carries an authority that supersedes any challenge or opposition. Another aspect of alignment is timing. God's will operates on a perfect timeline, and part of aligning with Him is trusting His timing. This can be one of the most challenging parts because we often want things to happen now. But alignment requires patience and faith. It's about understanding that delays are not denials, they are preparations. God is always working even when it feels like nothing is happening. When you align with His timing, you position yourself to receive His blessings at the exact moment you're ready for them. Alignment doesn't mean life will be without challenges. In fact, stepping into God's will often brings its own set of trials because it calls you to grow and stretch in ways you never have before. But even in the challenges, there is purpose. When you are aligned with divine will, you can face adversity with confidence, knowing that every trial is a stepping stone to something greater. God uses the difficulties to refine you, strengthen you, and prepare you for the next level of your destiny. The fruit of alignment with God's will is evident in your life. It brings peace that surpasses understanding, joy that isn't dependent on circumstances, and a sense of fulfillment that the world cannot offer. It transforms your relationships, your work, and your impact on others. When you walk in alignment, your life becomes a reflection of God's love and power, and you inspire others to seek that same connection. Ultimately, alignment with divine will is about partnership. God doesn't force His plans on you. He invites you to join Him in the incredible adventure of living out your purpose. It's a relationship built on love, trust, and collaboration. As you align your heart with His, you'll find that your desires begin to change. What once seemed important may fade away, and new passions and dreams will emerge, ones that align with His eternal purpose. So embrace the process of alignment. Spend time in prayer, seek His guidance, and listen for His voice. Trust that even when the path is unclear, He is leading you towards something greater than you could ever imagine. When you align your will with God's, you are stepping into the life you were created to live, a life of purpose, power, and divine fulfillment. Obedience is more than a personal act of faith. It is a catalyst for transformation that extends far beyond yourself. Every decision to follow God's guidance, even in the small and seemingly insignificant moments, sets off a ripple effect that can impact lives, shift circumstances, and shape destinies in ways you may never fully see. Obedience is powerful because it aligns you with God's will, positioning you to be a vessel through which His plans unfold, not only for you, but for others as well. When you choose obedience, you are stepping into a divine partnership. God often uses ordinary people who are willing to listen and act according to His word to accomplish extraordinary things. Your yes to God can be the answer to someone else's prayer. It could be the spark that ignites hope, the encouragement that helps another persevere, or the turning point in someone's life. Obedience, no matter how small the act may seem, carries the weight of divine purpose and can trigger a chain reaction of blessings. The ripple effect of obedience often starts with you, but it rarely ends there. Consider the story of Abraham, whose obedience to leave his homeland and trust God's promises led to the formation of a nation, and a blessing for all humanity. His willingness to follow God didn't just affect him, it changed history. This is the nature of obedience that carries generational implications. Your faithful actions today can set the stage for blessings in your family, community, and beyond for years to come. Obedience also inspires others. When people see you stepping out in faith, it encourages them to do the same. Your courage to trust God in the face of uncertainty can embolden others to overcome their own fears and doubts. Sometimes your obedience becomes a testimony showing others what is possible when they align their lives with God's will. Even when you don't see the immediate effects, your faithfulness plants seeds in the hearts of those who witness it. The ripple effect of obedience often moves in unseen and unexpected ways. You may think a small act of kindness or a step of faith goes unnoticed, but God is always working behind the scenes. The person you help, the words you speak, or the example you set might influence someone else to make a life-changing decision. It could lead them to Christ, encourage them to pursue their purpose, or help them find the strength to overcome their own struggles. Your obedience becomes a conduit through which God's love and power flow into the lives of others. Obedience also has a cumulative effect. Each step of faith builds upon the last, creating momentum in your spiritual journey. As you obey in small matters, God entrusts you with greater responsibilities. This growth not only deepens your own relationship with Him, but also amplifies your impact on the world around you. What begins as a single act of faith can grow into a legacy of influence, touching countless lives over time. There is also a deep sense of fulfillment that comes with obedience. When you follow God's leading, you are living in alignment with your purpose. This brings peace, joy, and a sense of meaning that transcends circumstances. This inner transformation becomes evident to others, drawing them to the source of your peace and inspiring them to seek the same alignment in their lives. Your obedience becomes a light that shines in the darkness, guiding others toward hope and truth. Obedience often requires sacrifice, but even in sacrifice there is gain. What you give up in the moment pales in comparison to the blessings that follow. God honors obedience and His rewards are abundant. These rewards are not always material. They include spiritual growth, deeper relationships, and the satisfaction of knowing you are part of something greater than yourself. And these blessings don't stop with you. They overflow into the lives of others, creating ripples that extend far and wide. Even in challenging times, obedience has the power to break barriers and open doors. There are moments when God calls you to obey in ways that seem illogical or uncomfortable. It might be forgiving someone who's stepping out into the unknown, or standing firm in your faith when it's easier to compromise. In these moments, your obedience becomes a declaration of trust in God's sovereignty, and that trust unleashes His power to work miracles. The breakthroughs that follow often extend beyond your life, impacting everyone connected to you. Ultimately, obedience is about love. It's a response to the love God has already shown you and a reflection of your love for Him. When you obey, you are saying, God, I trust you more than my fears, my plans, or my understanding. That kind of trust is contagious. It inspires others to draw closer to God, creating a ripple effect of faith and transformation. Every act of obedience, no matter how small, carries eternal significance. You may not always see the results, but God does. He is the one who multiplies your faithfulness, using it to accomplish more than you could ever imagine. When you choose to obey, you are participating in His greater plan, setting off ripples that will reach places and people far beyond your immediate vision.